Hi, it's Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is Peter Pan and Wendy from 1981. So let's get started. The Darling family lived on a quiet street in London. There were three children in the family: Wendy, John, and little Michael. The children had a nurse called Nina. Nina was a St. Bernard dog. Nina was a good nurse. She walked the children to school in the morning and picked them up in the afternoon. Nina made sure the children ate their spinach at dinner, and all night she stayed in their bed. At bedtime, Wendy's always told stories to her brothers. Her best story was about Peter Pan. Peter Pan lived in Neverland, she told them. It is a magic place where children never grows up. There are fairies in Neverland and wild animals in private too. One night, mother and father came in to say goodnight before a party. They found the boys in the middle of a noisy private fight. Stop it at once, said father. You are too old to play private, and you are too old to have a nurse, too. Father put Nina on a leash. Wendy, he said, you look after your brothers. And no more stories. Father took Nina downstairs and tied her up to the yard. Then he and mother went off to the party. Poor Nina, she was unhappy away from the children. Then, then in Zoe, the bedroom window flew Peter Pan in the fairy Tinkerbell. Peter loved Wendy's stories. He hid outside the window every night and listened to them. Peter had heard what father said. Come to Neverland with me, said Peter. Wendy can tell stories to me and my friends, the Lost Boys. John and Michael can help me fight privates. Hooray, said John. How will we get to Neverland? Asked Wendy. We will fly, said Peter. He threw some fairy dust on the children. Now think happy thoughts, said Peter. So the children did. In a tinkle, they all floated up to the ceiling. We are flying, they cried. Out the window the children flew. Follow me, called Peter Pan. This way to Neverland. Down in the yard, Nina barked and barked, but no one heard her. Peter and the children flew and flew. Finally, they reached Neverland. They landed safely on a cloud, but right below them was Private Captain Hook and his mate, Mr. Smith. Captain Hook hated Peter Pan. He was always trying to capture Peter Pan. He looked up and saw Peter Pan on the cloud. Now I have got you, shouted Captain Hook. Mr. Smythe, fire the cannon. The cannon whizzed through the air. It just missed Peter and the children. Whoosh, that was close, said John. It's too dangerous here, said Peter. Tinker, you take the children to the Lost Boys. I will stay and keep an eye on Hook. John and Michael wanted to watch the private too, but Peter made them go with Tinkerbell. The children followed Tinker to the home of Peter and the Lost Boys. They lived in a secret cave under an old tree. The Lost Boy did not have a mother, so they was very happy to see Wendy. When Peter got to the cave, he said, "Three cheers for Wendy, boys. She is going to tell us stories." "Hooray, hooray, hooray," cried the boys. But Tinkerbell did not say hooray. Tinker felt left out. She tried to think of something mean to do to Wendy. She decided to go see Captain Hook. Tinkerbell told Captain Hook all about Wendy. I can help you get rid of Wendy, said Captain Hook. I will capture her and make her scrub the deck of my ship. Tinkerbell looked pleased. There is just one thing, said Hook, with a wicked smile. I do not know where to find Wendy. You must show me where Peter lives. So Peter marked a path to the secret cave on Captain Hook's map. She did not guess that the pirate planned to capture Peter. At the cave, Wendy was telling stories. Peter and the Lost Boy wanted to hear every story she knew, but John and Michael began to miss mother and father. Finally, Wendy said, "It is time to go home. I don't want to. I don't want you to leave," cried Peter. He would not even say goodbye. Waving sadly, Wendy followed her brother and the Lost Boys out of the cave. Tinkerbell was happy to see Wendy go. Outside the cave, Private Crew was waiting. The men captured the children as they walked out of the cave. Wendy and the boys were marching off to Captain Hook. "Blast you, Smythe," said Hook, when he saw the children. You did not bring me Peter Pan." Tinkerbell heard Captain Hook. Now she knew that Hook had tricked her. He wanted to capture Peter Pan. Tinker flew to tell Peter what had happened. Maybe Peter could save the children. The private took the children to the ship. Captain Hook said to the children, "You can join up with me and be private, or you can walk the plank." Wendy was not afraid of Captain Hook. "I would never be a private," she cried. "Then you will be the first to walk the plank," said Hook. He tied Wendy's hand behind her back. Wendy bravely started to walk the plank. All of a sudden, Peter and Tinkerbell flew over onto the private ship. Peter and Tink quickly cut the rope around the children. Then Peter and the children began to chase the private. Peter flew everywhere with his sword. What a fight there was. Most of the privates jumped off the ship. Wendy and the boy cheered. The last private left with Captain Hook. Peter flew around and around him. Captain Hook tried to capture Peter, but Peter was too fast for Captain Hook. Hook got dizzy and fell into the sea, right beside a hungry crocodile. Captain Hook swam for his life. "Ha ha!" cried Peter. Then Peter threw some fairy dust on the children, and away they flew. Peter flew back to London with Wendy, John, and Michael. He left them at the bedroom window. "Goodbye, Peter," cried the children. The next morning, Father let Nina come back in the house. The children were happy to see her. They were happy to be home again. But they never forgot the trip to Neverland. So that was Peter Pan and Wendy from 1981. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day. We have another video coming out real soon.